So, question for you, Nate, and everyone else in the live chat. Where do you find your hope, worth, or value? Great question. Um, I think my hope is found in the facts and reality of my situation, in knowing that I have the strength to get through. I think that if you develop a victim mindset, which having a victim mindset is a lot easier than having a victor mindset. And so it's a lot easier to be negative. It's a lot harder to be brave and courageous. And so when you've made the decision to not be a victim and to not be negative and to actually not be selfish and live life for yourself, then you have this victor mentality and not a victim mentality, but a victor mentality that it's like, you know what? I know that I can overcome. I know that I can overcome this fear, these situations, and I know that I can overcome this, and I know that I'm strong enough to do so. And so I think, worth and value, I don't need I don't need to get it from anybody. It helps to have that validation because everybody wants to be validated. But I think that living without a victim mindset, living from a victor mindset, and living with the bravery and courage to wake up every day to make that decision, I'm not going to be a negative person and I'm not going to be a selfish person. I'm not going to live life for myself, but I'm going to live life for myself, recognizing that I can be a gift to the people that are around me. I don't have to hog all this energy and just one me, that I'm actually what I carry as a gift to people, and that I have the strength to be that. And so I think that it's just a mindset of worth and value that you really have to find in yourself. Nobody can really give it to you. I mean, I realize that a lot of Christians, um, say, "Well, God gave me my worth and my value." But if that's the case, then that's the case. In some ways, I think that kind of cheapens and it gives you license to not actually. You don't have to have value for yourself, because it's like, well, God gives me my value, but at the same time, the law that's set in place in the New Testament is love your neighbor as yourself. And so if you don't love yourself, then you can't love your neighbor. And so that gets into the whole thing of, people are constantly trying to love other people, but they don't love themselves, and they wonder why they're burnt out all the time. It's like it doesn't work. So anyway, getting back to where I find hope, worth, and value, it's all in the way you think about yourself. You have to look at the facts on who you are, because a lot of people don't want to be who they are. But it's funny because it's like a lot of people hate who they are because they don't learn to love who they are. But once they love who they actually are, then they really start to love who they are. I know that sounded really weird and confusing. Let me try to break that down a little bit more. So a lot of people don't like themselves because they are not being themselves. They're so busy trying to be other people. But if they were to fully embrace themselves and develop love for themselves, then they would be able to love other people, to love themselves. So anyway, getting back to where do you find hope, worth, value? I think you finding it in yourself, you knowing yourself and realizing who you really are and learning to love that. I think that you gain hope in that. You're like, like, not in a prideful, arrogant way, but being like, I'm a boss. Like, I got this. Like, life, come at me. Like, I'm gonna live life to the fullest. I think there's so much hope right there, that people are some people are missing out on. Some Christians specifically are missing out on, because it's like this. Well, God will take care of it for me, and it's like I'm just a vessel, and it's like, okay, you might be a vessel, but like, do you have worth for that vessel, or are you going to treat that vessel like garbage? So a lot of other so all of that to say, I hope that answers your question on where I find hope, worth, and value.